So how close are Karthik and Arjun have become going to the White House now?
They're really excited about this journey that we're on. I don't think that Karthik can say that his dad is running for president.
Yeah.
I don't know if he processes fully what that means. He's only 3 years old, but
Right.
I think they sense it's something important. It's a shared project as a family. They're excited whenever we travel on the campaign trail on this bus. They love this bus.
Right.
But I think on a serious note, I think they know that their parents are doing something that is important and that they're playing an important role in that. And I think that means something to them. And I'm grateful for that.
After the debate, a lot of issues has come up on the foreign policy,
Yes.
U.S. foreign policy, and you have spoken about America is not on decline, which many people think,
Yes.
and you're fighting for that. What are the major challenges U.S. foreign policy faces today?
So I think the major challenge of U.S. foreign policy is that we're not protecting the homeland. We're fighting wars that don't advance American interests while leaving the homeland actually vulnerable. So I think it's a mistake for the U.S. to continue engagement in Ukraine. That doesn't advance U.S. national interests. To the contrary, I think it actually is going to impede U.S. credibility on the global stage. What the U.S. needs to focus on is communist China. That's the top threat abroad, and protecting the homeland has to be the top priority at home, with actual defense capabilities of the border, from nuclear defense, from nuclear missile capabilities, super EMP, electromagnetic pulse strikes, cyber attacks. That's where we need to focus our attention, and then make sure that we're no longer dependent on our true enemy, communist China, for our modern way of life. But many in the establishment of both parties have forgotten that priority, focusing instead too much on Ukraine instead.
In fact, in India also, many people think that China is a major threat, and India has been a first-hand sufferer of that, the inclusion into the border. How do you see India's relationship in tackling this Chinese crisis, Chinese challenge?
So I think a stronger U.S.-India relationship could help the U.S. declare independence from China. The U.S. is economically dependent on China today, but with a stronger relationship with India, it becomes easier to declare independence from that Chinese relationship. I think the U.S. should also have a stronger strategic relationship with India, including even a military relationship in the Andaman Sea, knowing that India, if necessary, could block the Malacca Strait, where actually China gets most of its Middle Eastern oil supplies through. So these are areas for real improvement in the U.S.-India relationship. I think that would be good for the U.S., and that's exactly why I would lead accordingly.
How do you see that your Indian Americanness helping you in this campaign?
So I think the fact that I am the kid of immigrants who came to this country with no money and who's gone on to live the American dream of becoming successful at a young age at the scale that I have gives me a sense of conviction in this country, gives me a sense of certainty of what is possible in America because I have lived it. And I do feel a sense of duty to pass that on to the next generation. And so I do think that being the kid of immigrants who came to this country in search of opportunity gives me that first personal passion for making that available to the next generation.
One last question. What do we Prime Minister Modi, how do you see his India developing under his leadership?
I think he's been a good leader for India, and I look forward to working with him on building the U.S.-India relationship further.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.